Hello, good morning. Today we'll recap the entire things, whatever we studied so far. First class we discussed little bit on syllabus, what is the paper, the environmental science and sustainability. Environmental science is all about the environment and we read about sustainability. Sustainability କେମିତି ଆମେ environment ରକ୍ଷା ବେକ୍ଷଣ କେମିତି କରିବା? Environment ହେଲେ କଣ ବୁଝ? We studied in this paper. ଚାରିଟା ୟୁନିଟରେ ଅଛି ଏ paper. Unit 1 ଆମେ environment basic definition of environment କାହାକୁ କହନ୍ତି ଆମେ ବୁଝିଲେ, then what is sustainability, unit 2 ରେ different ecosystem, biodiversity and sustainable practice କଣ କଣ ଜଣେ କରିପାରିବ ସେ ବିଷୟରେ discuss କଲେ। unit 3 ରେ environmental pollution କେମିତି pollution create ହଉଛି, what are the different types of pollution, how environment is polluted, discuss all these things, and waste management ର cycle କଣ, waste management କଣ, କାହାକୁ କୁହାଯାଏ waste management, we studied on waste management and sustainable development goals, SDG. We discussed about sustainable development goals. In last unit, we discussed about social issue, interaction between environmental pollution and society, and different practical application, and there are some concepts regarding the environmental science. First thing we discuss environmental, what is environment and what are the main component of environment, biotic, abiotic. Biotic ରେ ଆମର ସବୁ living animal ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି, living things ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି, animal ହଉ plant ହଉ, such a plant and animal are mainly into biotic component. जोड़ा non living, जोड़ा water हो, air हो, soil, जोड़ा सब abiotic. So broadly there are two components, biotic and abiotic in the environment, living and non-living. Then different aspect we studied, what is the natural versus man-made environment, independent, interdependent, human impact, ମଣିଷରୁ କ'ଣ ପ୍ରଭାବିତ ହେଉଛି, multidisciplinary field, ଆମର knowledge based କେମିତି, everything you should know if you are studying environment, you should know science, technology, everything, all the fields you should have knowledge, multidisciplinary field. Sustainability ମାନେ तुम गोटे एग्जांपल दउଥିଲି, ତମେ ଦେହରେ ତମର ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହେଇଛି, ତମେ କେମିତି ତାକୁ ପ୍ରତିକାର କରୁଛ, the medication you are taking is sustainability. The medication you are applying to environment to protect your environment is sustainability. Sustainability କାହାକୁ କହନ୍ତି, ଯେମିତି ରକ୍ଷା କରିପାରିବ। Natural issues ଆମେ ପଢିଥିଲେ, what is the difference between, what is the definition, main definition of natural resource is whatever available naturally. Renewable and non-renewable, they are categorized into two sections, two broad category, renewable and non-renewable. What is renewable? Which is going to renew, which is not going to end. Like your wind, air, it's renewable. Non-renewable, which are existing, non-renewable are fuel, suppose coal हो, petroleum product हो, oil हो, बहुत अच्छी ଆମ ପୃଥିବୀରେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ତାକୁ non-renewable ଆମେ ଯଦି ଏମିତି consumption କରିବା ସରିଯିବ, 3 ଦିନରେ ସରିଯିବ. So we'll be struggling with to get the coal and oil. ସେଗୁଡାକ ଆମେ କ'ଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି, fossil fuel. Fossil fuel ମାନେ କ'ଣ, କାରଣ ବର୍ଷ ବର୍ଷ ଧରି ତିଆରି ହେଇଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ତାକୁ consumption କଲାବେଳେ ଆମେ ଭାବିବା ଆଉ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ପ୍ରଡକ୍ସନ କରିହବନି, ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ପ୍ରଡକ୍ସନ କରିହବ। So you are consuming less natural resource ପଢିଥିଲେ। Then we discuss about different types of natural resource, renewable, non-renewable. What is the importance and distribution of natural resource? Why it is important? That's because due to natural resource, the main survival of human being is existing because of water, air. Without that, we cannot survive. So that is the main important aspect of natural resource. Sustainability ಪಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ discuss ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. What is the goal of sustainability? What is the principle of sustainability? What are the different steps we can take to measure the sustainability? Discuss ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ଆମେ suppose ତୁମର transport ରେ travel ରେ ତୁମର food system ରେ କେମିତି କୋଉଠି ତମେ different steps apply କରିପାରିବ, different action ତୁମେ ନେଇପାରିବ, that is sustainability. Here we discuss everything. Individual କ'ଣ କରିପାରିବ, business କ'ଣ କରିପାରିବ, agricultural activity, forest activity, government activity, how government can achieve sustainability, how business unit can achieve sustainability, how individual can achieve sustainability. So we have taken some example, discuss on that. Collaboration, how different unit, different group can collaborate each other to maintain sustainability. କେମିତି ମିଳିମିଶିକି ଆମେ sustainability ଆମେ achieve କରିପାରିବା. Then we discussed, we took some example and we discussed the principles and goals of sustainability. Circular economy. Circular economy is a cycle. We recycle. Suppose you are using something and which is recycle and you going to use for a new product, that is circular economy. Circular economy କାଗଜ ଯୋଉଟା recycle ହେଇପାରୁଛି। Example ଆମେ ନେଇଥିଲେ environmental science ବିଷୟରେ ଆମେ ପଢିଥିଲେ। What is environmental science? It's a dynamic interdisciplinary study, environmental science. So study of different discipline, different aspect of environment, study of human being, study of different geographical situation, different study of ocean, study of forest. This is human. This is environmental science. Relations between environmental science and sustainability. What is the relations between environmental science and sustainability? That relation I gave you an example of disease treatment. That is the relation between environmental science and sustainability. Sustainability ଆମେ କାହିଁକି କରୁଛନ୍ତି? What is the practical application of sustainability? You have to have some goals, some achievement target, then you work on that. So that is the main goal of sustainability. What is the relationship between sustainability and environmental science, environment? So we studied that, and also we studied next thing is ecosystem. What is the meaning of ecosystem? It is same thing in the environment, what is available outside our lifestyle, biotic, abiotic, living and non-living. different types of ecosystem we studied: grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem, desert ecosystem, tundra ecosystem. We studied all these things. Aquatic ecosystem, water ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem is the ocean ecosystem. And different types of ecosystem. Then we conclude the ecosystem by understanding each of this ecosystem, how ecosystem is impacting the environment, how ecosystem is the main aspect of environment, main component of environment. Different ecosystem are existing outside your living area. We also discuss biodiversity or biological diversity, how it is a variety of life available in this world, in this earth. So if you take jungle, water, soil, there are different types of life, different types of ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଜୀବଜନ୍ତୁ ପୋକ ଜୋକ ସବୁଠି ଭରି ଅଛି ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ଆମ ଇକୋସିଷ୍ଟମକୁ healthy କରୁଛନ୍ତି. We should keep them for our ecosystem. That is the biological diversity. तो जंगल देखो, पानी भीतर देखो, माटी देखो, बहुत बड़ा जीवजंतु अछंती. And they can still be there. We should protect them. We should keep them alive. They are that is what is the relation of biodiversity and ecosystem I studied. Biodiversity come from two words. Bio means life, diversity means variable. That means all the different types of life available in the ecosystem are biodiversity. Because that sustainable practice, how a man can practice different sustainable steps. Then we discussed waste management. What waste management is contributing to energy conservation, sustainable transport, waste conservation. ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ସାଇକେଲ ପଢିଥିଲେ waste management କେମିତି ହଉଛି the collection of waste from collection of waste to disposal of waste. You are collecting, you are transporting, you are segregating, you are recycling, everything is there in the waste management. That was a big chapter we studied how waste is managed. What is the meaning of sustainable practice? What is the importance of sustainable practice? Because it mitigating climate, it mitigating different resource, protect biodiversity, economic benefit. It saves money through efficiency and create long-term viable of business. Country economy କେମିତି strengthen ହଉଛି, କେମିତି ତମର community କେମିତି ରୋଗମୁକ୍ତ ହଉଛି, healthier community, climate change mitigation, resource preservation. So because of all these things, sustainable practice is very important. And suppose the question someone will ask, what is the need of sustainable practice? You can write all those things. Climate change को protect କରୁଛି, resource prevention କରୁଛି, ତମର ଯୋଉ natural resource ଅଛି ତାକୁ prevent କରୁଛି, economic benefit ତମର country ର economic strengthen କରୁଛି, health different health issue भी ଆସୁନି, healthier communities, improve the public health of the society. This is the important things of sustainable practice. Then we studied the pollution. What is environmental pollution? Any harmful substance created by environment is environmental pollution. It could be different smoke, water, energy, anything which is harming the human life is pollution. Pollution is not good for human life. It could be sound, it could be health, water pollution, what polluted water, and different energy or forest. Anything is polluted and harming the human being is pollution. There are different types of pollution studies: air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, noise pollution, thermal pollution, radioactive pollution. We'll discuss all these in different types of pollution. Why this pollution is happening? Because of different agricultural activity, industrial activities, transportation activities, urbanization, improper waste management. Waste is managed in a very improper way. Urbanization is something increasing your traffic volume, increase your pollution, increase your waste. Everything is going to be a problem due to urbanization. There are also causes of pollution, types of pollution and causes of pollution. Effect of pollution: if the environment is polluted, it is impacting the human health, it is impacting the ecosystem, it is impacting the different natural processes. ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ଯେତେବେଳେ ବର୍ଷା ହେବା କଥା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଖରା ହେବା କଥା ପ୍ରପରଲି ହଉନି, ଏନଭାରମେଣ୍ଟକୁ ଇମ୍ପାକ୍ଟ କରୁଛି, ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଡିଜିଜ୍ ହଉଛି, ନ୍ୟୁରୋଲୋଜିକାଲ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହଉଛି, ରିପ୍ରଡକ୍ଟିଭ ଇସ୍ୟୁ ଆସୁଛି, କ୍ୟାନ୍ସର ଇନକ୍ରିଜ, କ୍ୟାନ୍ସର କେସରେ ଇନକ୍ରିଜ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି. ତ it is impacting in many ways: health system, ecosystem, and natural process. What are the consequences of pollution? We discussed consequences on health, consequences on ecosystem, climate, consequences of economic condition of the country, economy ଉପରେ କେମିତି ପ୍ରଭାବ ହଉଛି, degradation of quality of life, ଲୋକଙ୍କର ଚଳାଚଳ ଜୀବନ ଧାରା ଉପରେ କେମିତି ପ୍ରଭାବ ହଉଛି. So pollution is actually impacting everything. The consequences of pollution we studied. Then we started mitigation of pollution. In mitigation, we have studied how to mitigate, what government can take steps. Sorry. What government can take, what the public can take steps to mitigate, and different sustainable practice we discussed, we read about it. So those are the mitigation. What are the technological steps we can take? What are the international cooperation, like international bodies like World Bank and United Nations? They are talking, they are cooperating, country to country, they are cooperating each other. They are taking steps to mitigate the pollution. These are the mitigation of pollution. Waste management we studied. what are the activities the waste management studies, how to minimize the waste, collection and transportation, processing, and that treatment. What are the item will go to recycle, what are the item will go to compost, what are the item will create new energy. We discuss all this. And final thing is disposal. So different sections, different steps, different activities in waste management. First thing we dispose, recover, recycle, reduce, and prevent reuse. Sustainable Development Goal, SDG. Sustainable Development Goal we discussed. Total 17 Sustainable Development Goal and how to reduce the poverty, hunger of the country, and life who are staying in the water, inside the water, below the water, life on land, discuss all these things. We also discuss different social environmental studies, environmental issues, social issues in environmental studies. What is the affected society when you are studying environment, when you are doing something environment, social issues of environmental studies like human activities, different policies and behaviors of environment. It is impacting the society like pollution, climate change, just depletion. These are impacting the society. Urbanization, water issues, waste management issues, resettlement, climate change. All these things are social issues. Resource depletion, environmental issues. The concept of a sustainable practice is sustainable development, environmental ethic, pollution and consumption. So that is the main concept of social issues in environmental science, sustainable development. We also studied different acts like Wildlife Act, Water Act, Air Act, the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. Wildlife Act is 1972, Water Pollution Act on 1974, Air Pollution Act on 1981, Forest Conservation Act in 1980. We discussed all this and also we discussed Pollution Control Board at state level, at national level. What are the different type of pollution control board they do at state level and national level? What are the main function of pollution control board? They guide, they monitor, they enforce the rules and regulation, implement it, they monitor it, they regulate it, and what are the complaints of different area considering the other factors. The pollution control board decide the complaints and they support different policies implemented by government, different agencies. And some example we have taken pollution control board like Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, Central Pollution Company. That is the main body of national standard. Then every state has different pollution control board and working at state level. APPCB, Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board, WPB, PCB, like West Bengal Pollution Control Board. So similarly, every state has pollution control board. We studied on concept environmental justice. What is environmental justice? Environmental justice is actually giving same facility, same. Everyone should enjoy the nature. Everyone should utilize the nature service, nature equally, without considering their caste, their religion, or so they are all equal rights and environments, regardless of all these things, caste, race, income, their origin. So everyone has equal right to get clean water, clean air, and healthy environment and meaningful environment. So that is environmental justice. The concept is environmental justice. So you are getting everything. What is the core concept of environmental justice? Fair treatment, meaningful environment, equity, giving or making everyone at the same level. So that is equity. Then we have discussed one concept, environmental refugee. Environmental refugee is also called climate migrant. ଯେଉଁମାନଙ୍କୁ ଏନଭାରମେଣ୍ଟ କାରଣରୁ କିମ୍ବା କିଛି ଜିଓଗ୍ରାଫିକାଲ କାରଣରୁ ଅଲଗା ଜାଗାରେ ନେଇକି ଥଇଥାନ କରାହଉଛି। ତାଙ୍କର ମୁଭମେଣ୍ଟ କେମିତି ହବ, ତାଙ୍କୁ କେମିତି ରଖାଯିବ, କଣ ରଖାଯିବ, କୋଉଠି ରଖାଯିବ, everything is called environmental refugee. ସପୋଜ ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ ନଈ ବଢି ହଉଛି, ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ କି ସାଇକ୍ଲୋନ ଆସିଲେ ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ନିରାପଦ ସ୍ଥାନକୁ ସିଫ୍ଟ କରାହଉଛି, ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ କରାହଉଛି ଅଲଗା ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାକୁ, ଅଲଗା କୋଉଠି ଲୋକ ସେଠି ରହିଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, that kind of refugee. But this movement is purely due to climate change, natural disaster, and government is taking their responsibility of setting them up, their settlement, their housing, their food, everything. Government is taking the responsibility of that. It is environmental refugee. Ecological economy we discussed, and nature reserve we discussed. There is another concept. Nature reserve is something is we are keeping reserve for different purpose, for research, for a different biological region, like your conservation of forest due to make sanctuary. So the forest is actually untouched, and the animal who are staying in the forest they are also untouched. So conservation of reservation. Main purpose of reserve is conserving the sanctuary, research and study, ecological service, habitat protection. ତାଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରୋଟେକ୍ଟ ଦେବାରେ, ଜୀବଜନ୍ତୁଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରୋଟେକ୍ଟ ଦେବାରେ, କିମ୍ବା ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଷ୍ଟଡି କରିବାରେ, କିମ୍ବା ଇକୋଲୋଜିକାଲ ସର୍ଭିସ ଫଙ୍କସନ୍ ଲାଇକ୍ ୱାଟର ପ୍ୟୁରିଫିକେସନ୍, କିଛି ଗୋଟେ କାମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ସର୍ଭିସ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତମକୁ ଯଦି ବ୍ଲକ୍ କରାଯାଇଛି, ସେଇଟା ଅଟକି ଦିଆଯାଇଛି, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ କଲ୍ଡ nature reserve. So for various purpose we do the nature reserve. Conservation purpose, for research purpose, for study purpose, for ecological purpose, for habitat protection. Then we discuss disaster, natural disaster. What is man-made disaster? What is natural disaster? We discuss the role of business during disaster. What business can do during disaster? what they do prior to disaster, what they do after disaster. We discuss all these things. Then we discuss the dynamic interaction of society and the environment. What is the interaction, how they interact, different aspect of interaction, social impact, resource dependent, environmental feedback. Then what is the role of sustainable development goal? Business plays a crucial role in achieving the sustainable development goal. How they integrate the environmental responsibility into their core operation. Keeping the goal and achieving those goals are very important. The role of business to achieving that goal, what business can do, how they drive those sustainability goals. We discussed yesterday in the last class. That will conclude your syllabus and we have discussed everything. And today I will send you the complete note. If you have any questions, let me close this class today.